Inshallah, today me and my friends will be discussed about the comparison between the traditional teaching methods and modern teaching methods. Before that, I would like to introduce my friends who will be with me throughout this presentation. They are Khalidah Adibah binti Zarim, Intan Salwanis binti Bakar, and Nurul Aishah Sakinah binti Sukor. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, thanks to Allah for still giving us the ni'mah to live our life today. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nurul Aishah binti Kamal. Inshallah, today me and my friends will be discussed about something that is very important. So let's start it. Traditional teaching methods is a strategies that have been used past few years ago, and now we can call it as largely outdated. While the modern teaching methods is an approach to teaching involves more interacting, participating in the classroom, and it more focused on student-based learning. While for traditional teaching methods, it is more focused on teacher-centered, which means that teachers often to talk lots and the students just listen to the teachers. There's no two-way communication between teacher and the students. But not in the modern teaching methods. The student just only listen to the teachers, but they always interact in the classroom. They always participating in the discussion activity. They always interact to the teachers and also interact to one another. Other than that, in traditional teaching method, mostly students likely working alone, because, for example, they will do the exercise or the activities alone at their own place. So this situation will lead a situation that we can say that is why classroom is oftenly quiet, because there is no discussion activity, there is no interacting, participating in the class. However, in a modern, or we can call it as a constructivist approach, usually these teaching methods will make the students to work in pairs, groups, and also they can work in as alone, but it depends on the purpose of the learning. Okay, so with this situation, it will make the classroom always busy and always noisy because of their participating discussion between their friends in the classroom. So this is the comparison between the traditional teaching methods that more focused on teacher-centered, and also modern teaching methods that more focused on student-based learning. Okay. That's all from me. I will pass the floor to my friends. Thank you.
Okay, I will continue with the next differences between traditional and modern teaching methods. For traditional teaching methods, teacher is more like an expert and also information provider, where the teacher will deliver information through lecture, and they will spend most of the time like talking in front of the class. And the teacher, they have a traditional responsibility where they need to pass on to students the information, knowledge, and also understanding in a topic that appropriate at the stage of their studies. Because the teacher is an expert, where they share their knowledge of the subject matter. As for modern teaching methods, teacher is more like a guidance and also facilitator, where the teacher will enhance everyone. They will enhance learning for everyone, usually through discussion or activities such as role play, group discussion, and many other interesting activities. And the teacher will also provide the same opportunities for members of the class to share knowledge and to learn from one another. The teacher's main role as a facilitator, where they will offer support and advice when needed, and they will also provide the necessary scaffolding and teaching of skills when it is necessary, and they will encourage the students to speak up and to ask questions during activities. And when the student asks questions and find the answer for themselves, they will also get involved in their own learning. The next differences between traditional and modern teaching methods is traditional teaching methods using memorization and also recitation, where the students will memorize some topics regarding their subject matters. And memorization is good because the information is being stored in can be stored in long term, and also can revert back to working memory when it's needed. And to have a long-term memory, the students will need to do repetition, and repetition is crucial in order to maintain information and prevent the information from being lost. And one of the ways to maintain information is by memorization. Whereas for modern teaching methods, the teachers will develop critical thinking for the students, where the student will have the ability to think clearly and rationally about what to do and what to believe, and it will allow them to find the answers of their questions or any problems that they encounter. And commonly, the critical thinking is called problem solving, or using high order thinking skills.
I am Nurul Aishah binti Sukor, and I will proceed to the fourth point of the differences between traditional and modern teaching methods in terms of assessment. Assessment is based on a collection of information about what students know and what they are able to do. In assessment, there are multiple ways and methods of collecting information at different times and contexts. Firstly, traditional assessment methods are more emphasis on tests and results, which use a single occasion test and it is standardized for all. The most widely used traditional assessment tools are multiple choice tests, true and false tests, short answers, and essays. This type of assessment measure what learners can do at a particular time. However, test score cannot tell about the progression of a child. And modern assessment methods focus on classroom assessment. Classroom assessment is important dimension to ensure the effectiveness of the curriculum carried out in the classroom. It is done informative and summative assessment using various approach and methods such as through journals, portfolio, and others. This type of assessment assess students continuously during the process of teaching and learning in the classroom. Next, there is no feedback provided to the learners in traditional assessment. The main motive of the teachers is to prepare students for exams. Teachers teach them and make them understand about the concept and the syllabus. Students learn just to pass the exam and get good result. While feedback are provided to learners in modern assessment, teachers make judgments on students' achievement on certain learning standards with the use of evidence from summative assessment. This makes way for future learning plans for the students and encourage them to reflect on their learning progress. Besides, the work class are mainly individualized in traditional method of teaching, and the assessment procedure is decontextualized. It makes learning undeveloped because teacher-centric system. It shows lacks of collaboration and group learning in students. Teachers give lectures and students learn. In modern teaching, collaborative working or group working is encouraged. Learners have opportunity to practice the authentic activities that they might encounter in real life. These activities allow them to transfer their skills to various real-world related settings. Furthermore, traditional assessment often focus on learners' ability of memorization and recall, which are lower level of cognitive skills. Most standardized tests assess only revise what have been learned in classroom and not relate it with real world of learners. Modern teaching creates alternative assessment that require higher order thinking skills so that students can solve real-life related problems. Students have the opportunity to demonstrate what they learn, and this type of assessment tools focus on the growth and the performance of the students' aims to relate the instruction to the real-world experience of the learners.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Intan Salwanis with metric number 1820694, and I am going to present to you about the traditional teaching method versus modern teaching method in the classification of style of teaching. So the first one is traditional teaching method. Okay, so the style of traditional teaching method is like chalk and talk, which means that the teachers will only write but their subject, but their topic, and but their questions and all on the whiteboard or blackboard, and then the students will only answer and only respond. Okay, like if, they will need to write on the blackboard and whiteboard lah. Okay, but one of advantage of this teaching is that the teachers can write anything they want and the students can answer anything they want, on the board, based on the questions the teachers will give. But the disadvantage of this teaching is that the students will not have critical thinking, to ask to teachers about that particular subject. Okay, so that the first one. The second one is the modern teaching method. Okay, the style of modern teaching method is interactive, which means that we have a lot of learning styles that the teachers will teach to the students. Okay, and actually we have a lot, we really actually have a lot teaching methods that we can do, but I will explain to you only top six modern teaching method, which is collaborative learning, project-based learning, personalized learning, flipped classroom, bite-sized learning, and experiential learning. Alright, so the first one is collaborative. Collaborative is when the learners or the students, work in groups to combine the knowledge on the subject. And this type of teaching method is better for revising topics before assessments. Okay, so that is the first one. The second one is project-based learning. Project-based learning is learning method that use real-life activities to encourage students to learn by doing what the teacher will act as the mediator. So the teacher will only guide them, and everything about that project, the students will only need to do it with teacher on the side. Alright, so that is the second one. The third one, which is personalized learning. Personalized learning is learning that is personalized to the student, which means that anything that is particular on that subject, so it will follow the teacher, the student's needs. If that student will need but this topic more, then it is up to them. But if other student will need to study about this topic more, then it is up to them. So that is what personalized learning means. Okay, so that is the third one. The fourth one is flipped classroom. Flipped classroom or flipped learning is when the students is involved to prepare anything before learning session start. Alright, so that is just like if I want to give you an example, just like before a presentation, so the students need to prepare the slide or any project they want to do and all. Right, so that's the fourth one. The fifth one, which is the bite-sized learning. Okay, bite-sized learning is that the meaning of bite-sized learning is that they use short but focused activities to focus on that only particular topic, it's not particular subject, but only that two particular topic. So that's the bite-sized learning. And the last one, which is experiential learning. Experiential learning is that an active learning method that puts students in real world situations. So for example, to do experiential learning, maybe you can do role playing or field work and so on. Okay, so that's all from us. Thank you for listening, and bye bye.